Hi friends. I want to tell you a story that I'm not particularly proud of. When I first moved to New York, I had a lot to do, just a million little logistical nightmares like figuring out a new public transportation system, signing up for health insurance, getting a new library card. But perhaps the most important trifecta was first, find an apartment so that I could have a permanent address, second, switch my Washington driver's license over to a New York ID, and third, register to vote. These things take time, and they take extra time when you're always stuck at work during the exact hours that things like rental agencies and the DMV are open. Hell, I'm 8 months into living here and I still don't have that library card. But I figured I had time. As this happens when you move to a new city and a new state because of our good pal federalism, I didn't really know how the pattern of local election cycles worked. Federal elections happen in November on even-numbered years, but state-level elections and municipal elections, those can happen kind of whenever. So I started hearing in October that there was an election coming up for mayor and city council. I, of course, per my wife and also my Twitter brand, think voting is super important. I think it's our responsibility to vote. I think it's our duty to vote. So I started looking online to see what kinds of ID or proof of residence I would need to scrape together to get registered by October 13th. And that's when I realized it was already the 18th and that I wasn't gonna get to vote. And I'm really ashamed of that. You might say, Taylor, it's only city council. It's not like you missed a presidential election, but city council decides things like how much do we spend on parks, or who gets access to affordable housing, or even how do we handle police violence? Things that have huge consequences on people's everyday lives. So I'm saying this to you for one, because it's another federal election year in the US, which means every member of the House of Representatives is up for re-election, as well as several Senate seats, governorships, even things like State House and State Senate, who, by the way, are the ones who get to determine when the voter registration deadlines are, who and how people can purchase guns in your state, or how much your state's gonna invest in clean energy. Your state legislature are the ones determining all those little mechanisms of your immediate surroundings, while Congress is accomplishing not the most. So be better than me. Make sure you're registered to vote now. I actually finally got registered a couple weeks ago. I went to the DMV to update my license and they let me register to vote right there on like the credit card machine. So do me a favor, go to the link in the description and check your registration status right now. The other reason I'm telling you this story is because in my case, the system worked as it's designed to. Things like 30-day voter registration cutoffs exist because they know that someone like me or someone like you is gonna get busy, or they're not gonna know that an election's coming up, or they're gonna just have moved and not have all of the right paperwork together in time, and then they're not gonna be able to vote. Early voter registration deadlines, voter ID laws, restrictions on polling locations and polling times, all these things serve to disenfranchise voters and make it more difficult for young people and people of color especially to exercise their right. And we need to change that. So first, register to vote now. Again, there's a link in the description where you can check your status. If you're already registered to vote, depending on your state, you can also help other people get registered. So I'm gonna link a few resources in the description for how you can host a voter registration drive. But you can also contact your state political party of choice. If they host voter registration drives, they're probably looking for volunteers. Also, we can change the systems that make registering to vote a hurdle in the first place. The Franchise Project put together a voter scorecard where you can check out how your state stacks up on voter access. If you check out the link below, it'll tell you what your state could be doing better and how to contact your state election officials to tell them what you want to change. In the comments, tell me a story about voting, or tell me a story about your most recent regret. If you like this video, you can subscribe. You can find me anywhere on the internet at ItsRadishTime. If you want to support me with your coin, you can do that on Patreon. And I'll see you next week. Bye.